Welcome to Infinity Reviews. So yeah! Woohoo! Oh, that's a great line. That is a great line. Eve. Hey guys, what is up? And welcome back to another movie review. Today, the movie we are reviewing is Kingdom of the Planet of Apes, the fourth movie in the Andy Serkis trilogy of Planet of Apes movie. But can we really call it the Andy Serkis trilogy anymore? You know, maybe it's just like the rebooted Planet of the Apes. Let's just call it that, the rebooted Planet of the Apes. We had this new one coming, and I think a lot of us thought, after the first three, we didn't really see a need for another Planet of the Apes movie. And when they first announced this movie, I was not super excited because I'm not like a Planet of the Apes super fan. I enjoyed the Andy Serkis movies, but I didn't totally love them. And then I went to go see this movie, and then I honestly fell in love with Planet of the Apes after this. I went on like a total after I saw the movie, a total binge of okay, can you tell me more about this world of Planet of the Apes? Because, you have a director in Wes Ball. Wes Ball, you look at his past movies, he has had studio experience. He made the Maze Runner trilogy, but those were not critically received. And, personally, I enjoy the movies, but a lot of people don't enjoy the movies. They don't think they're really the finest young adult adaptation movies they are. But he knocks it out of the park with this. The thing is, the movie isn't great because the action's great. Oh, the CGI's great. Of course, all those things are there. The thing that Wes Ball is, the thing is that he does is he throws us into this world, a world with all these different ape cultures. You have Noah's, the main character Noah belongs to a clan who trains eagles. And, then you have, Proximus Caesar, who's the big bad of the movie. He's trying to build, a kingdom of the planet apes by collecting all apes from all these different tribes. And, and you really see the world, walking through, a city that's covered in green grass and moss, it's really an adventure movie at its core. It's, Noah trying to retrieve his clan, after, he loses some people, which I'm not going to try to not say as many spoilers. I'm not going to try to go in spoiler territory. So I'm going to really try hard just to make this a regular review. And if you guys want, one spoiler review, just let me, know down below. But let's get back to it. So Noah's trying to get his clan back. Because Proximus Caesar's men come and, capture his clan, and, he has to go get them back. And, he meets other people, on his journey. And he meets people like Rocca, and then he meets a human named May / Nova in the film. And, let's talk about, these characters, That's kind of the overall story. The story is Noah trying to get his clan back with the help of Rocca and May. Now, about the characters, let's first talk about the main character, Noah. I think, going to this movie, the biggest challenge, I think, for this character was, can Noah top Caesar? Caesar's Andy Serkis. That is a character that people quote their lines, especially me, apes stronger together, or I did not start this war. Like that, he has such great lines in there. And then you bring in this new character, Noah, and you have Owen Teague in the role, and you start thinking okay, Owen Teague, I've never heard that name before. Can he bring the same level of love to this franchise as Andy Serkis did? And the truth is, yeah, Noah is a great freaking character. He is one of the reasons why I love the movie so much, because Owen Teague's performance is Noah. Noah is not like Caesar in any way. Caesar was the stoic leader, and Noah is a leader. He is a leader in film, but he's a very different type of leader. He was I believe Caesar was a strong leader. He had to be built hard, to get the apes their freedom they were looking for. Noah is kind of an empathetic leader in a way, At first, it's all about him trying to save his tribe, and he doesn't really want to make friends. If he meets Rocca's character, if that's May's character, he doesn't want anything to do with them. And then in the film, you see him discover empathy for them, and sees Rocca as a friend, and sees May as also a friend of his. That's what I think makes him different, and it makes the character so fun to watch, and why you want to root for him as a hero. I think Wes Ball does a great job of that. Now let's talk about the other big character, which is Proximus Caesar. And if you thought Noah was the best character in the movie, no, he wasn't. It's Proximus Caesar, played by Kevin Durand. And Kevin Durand is an actor who's been along for a long time. He has been in a lot of smaller stuff. If we look at Kevin Durand's resume, he has been in movies like Real Steel. He was just in Abigail, The Strain, Wild Hogs. He was in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Movies that weren't all relatively well received, in my opinion. And now we look at King of the Planet of the Apes, and this, I think, is his best performance of his career. Him as Proximus Caesar he's just amazing as a character. The voice he has is you hear it in the trailer, what a wonderful day. That voice, I can't even do the voice. It's so good, and you really see also his point of view, because sometimes we get villains, where it's oh, the villain just wants to destroy the world. He wants to. It's a typical villain. You actually kind of are on the villain side a bit in the movie, which is really interesting, because he's trying to bring all these apes together to bring a kingdom, and he's trying to evolve the apes, because he's read that humans could communicate over long distances. They had planes, vehicles, great cities, and he thinks next evolution is for them to evolve into more human type apes, rather than just with spears and swords, upgrade maybe to guns, to tanks, advancements in their technology. That's what he wants. In the beginning, you're okay, this guy's not so bad, but then you realize, he's basically enslaving all these villages to be under him. And the big also thing of the movie is the message of Caesar. Caesar is mentioned many times in the movie, where Caesar, there's Rocca's character. Rocca is kind of an orangutan who's kind of Noah's adventure partner on this journey to get his clan back. And Rocca, he's part of a tribe of apes who follow these teachings of Caesar and talk about. He says these are the true teachings of Caesar. And then you look at Proximus Caesar, he's no, Caesar was this. They look at the warrior side of Caesar, which is really interesting, and it also has something to say about today. There's people interpret many different things about religious figures or leaders, about what they did, especially today. We're still arguing, over certain what did this person really mean in history or that, and it takes that theme and puts it in there, which I thought was really interesting, kind of having this overarching, historical leader in the ape society who freed them, who inspired them to become, smarter and better than humans. And you have two sides saying, okay, Caesar loved humans, and you have the other side saying Caesar hated humans. Having two different ideologies between apes is really interesting. Now let's move on to this next character, which is Freya Allan's May, also named Nova. As we know, in this movie, if you've watched the last three movies, that humans have lost speech. They cannot speak anymore. They're kind of the apes now, in our society today. They cannot speak, but they're considered wild animals, and most of apes are afraid of novas because that's what they call humans, novas. And if you know what Nova means, Nova was the name of the little girl in War of the Planet of the Apes that Caesar and his gang found and took under their wing. And they can't talk because of the virus that spread that allowed humans not to speak, but allowed apes to evolve and speak. And I really enjoyed it. This was people I think really knew her from Witcher. She plays Ciri in The Witcher, which I think Witcher is an alright show. I enjoy the first 2 seasons. I've not got around to season 3 yet because I've had so many other shows I wanted to watch. But she really kills it as the human protagonist in the film. And you could also say she's not really the protagonist as well. She's also an antagonist. She's kind of in the mix of both. She believes that you find out that the reason she's with Raka and Noah is because she wants to get into this vault that holds this special book that she tells Apes, but really is a communication hard drive to enable something that she's going to give to humans later in the film to work. I'm not going to say what it is. You got to go see the movie to see that. And the really big question is at the end of the movie, they meet one last time, and Noah says you say this is a human world. If this is a human world, where do you apes belong? That's the real question. It's because you want to take, and that really caught me thinking she wants to take the world. This is a human world, but also we got to think we share this world with so many other creatures. So you can say that this is just a human world. It is a world with so many different species on it. And having 2 different species coexist. You look at Caesar. That's what Caesar was trying to do. He wanted humans and apes to coexist together, but the humans thought, no, they're going to wipe us out, and that's why Caesar had to do what he did and defeat the humans. And now the humans are kind of the apes. Humans are starting to get their speech back, and they might go into a war against the apes, and who's going to win? And I think Noah just wants peace. He wants to protect his village, the people that he loves, but he's also curious about human ways now, and I think that's something you could lead into the second film as well. I would love them to bring Freya Allan back for the second one because I think she was really enjoyable to watch. My favorite human protagonist in the circus films was Jason Clarke's character in Dawn, and because I really liked that character because he was a family man, and he had so much empathy, and in this character I liked May a lot because she was kind of on the side of okay, here's the human side. She's the special breed of humans who can talk, and her entire drive is that she wants the world to go back to belonging to the humans. But in truth, I think she's got to realize, in truth, that she has to realize that this is not a human world anymore. This is an ape world. And that's what she's got to come to realize, instead of trying to defeat each other, they need to start working together to create a better society, a better world for both humans and apes. But those are the characters I think really stood out. Of course, there's Raka. I think Raka was a very, very cool character, very much the comedic relief of the movie. I think he was a very interesting character. But something happens to him where he doesn't really make him, main character, which I'm not going to say what happens to him. Overall, this is probably my second favorite of the Apes franchise. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is my favorite Apes movie. I've watched that movie so many times. Has so many great actors in it. And this one, I really loved. And, a lot of people are mixed on it, I feel and I think this is the best movie I've seen Wes Ball do. And I think it's really shows that maybe he can handle a big, budget movie. If he's going to do Zelda, of course, for Sony, and I'm okay. The thing about it is he was able to build this world that was able to draw me into for 2 hours. I think for Zelda he could do that very well as well too. But overall, I'm gonna give this movie a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, not because the CGI was out of this world, the world building out of this world, the character development was so great, and I just enjoyed every minute I watched this movie. But what do you guys think? Did you enjoy Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time. Peace!